when you live out of your head is generally bigger than when you follow your heart. So that means when you make certain choices in your life, your connections will change also. When you will be more yourself and when you will be having more self-confidence, your social life will be much different. You will have better quality connections. This is how to recognize in what stage of your life you're into. When you change from your head to your heart, that means you are making serious choices in your life, which affects many situations, of course. When your social life is changing, you will notice also your career path will be influenced by the choices you make. So not only with your family and relatives, but also with your colleagues and friends. But is it bad to cut connections? Not at all. Think of yourself and also think of the other persons. Always make choices out of your heart. Yes, your environment can be hurt by the decisions you make. But in the end, these choices are the best you can make. And why? Well, if you are having connections with people which are not the right ones, you are holding up something which is not real. Better make the right choices early than ending up in arguments when your roads split. You never know when you will meet again. Why do we sometimes meet persons out of our past? Well, many times we lose connection with friends, family, and so on. The reason generally is wrong timing. That means your progress is different than from other people in your environment. That's another reason why we lose connection with certain people. Sometimes people from your past will come back in your current life. That's because they also will experience their progress, and when you are at the same level on your life path, the connection can be restored. So, saying goodbye to people doesn't always mean it is forever. Try to think spiritual. When you have a connection with somebody, or when you meet somehow new persons in your life, it is because of the life situation where you are into. You also could say that losing connections, improving current connections, and building up new connections are meant to be. Meant to be depends on your life situation and the choices you make. When you change your vision, you change the view on your life path. Then you will attract different situations which result in adjustments of social life. In specific situations, some people fit in or some people will stay out of it. That's the result of the changes in your life. So don't doubt about yourself when you see changes in your personal environment and social life. Somehow you should see this as a positive change in your life, because your life is improving. Stay strong and enjoy the moments of your relatives, and keep confidence if there are changes. So that was a little bit of the introduction about relatives, family, and so on. So don't doubt if you have to cut connections or make changes of your personal life. Just go for it and think about yourself. Don't be selfish, of course. Keep it in the middle, of course, but think about yourself. You're important and you can do it. And now I see I can tune in to some energy. Felicia from Pennsylvania. Good evening, Felicia.
Good morning, or good afternoon.
Yeah, it's good morning to me, but good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, how are you?
Do I need to call you back again? I'm very fine, thank you. How may I help you, Felicia?
I was wondering if you see anything about love and health and just anything about my career, the next future or so.
Yeah. Well, First of all, I feel a lot of tears in both of my eyes, and that means you are a little bit stuck at the moment. So I feel some resistance, I feel some sadness. Relationship, I get the...
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, the Medium Garuda Show with Frederic Diel. Live from Facebook.com/Medium Garuda Psychic Media. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites. AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is the Medium Garuda Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi guys, welcome to the Medium Garuda Show on A1R Psychic Radio. A few days ago I have posted a video about differences being in your head or in your heart. It was a short video and I have decided to dig into this information a little bit deeper tonight. Well, everybody is unique and different, of course. That means that I always tune in on a person like it is a complete new situation. Even if I speak to this person every day, I always tune in like it's a new situation. It is important to follow the process of a person to see the progress. In most situations, people get stuck in their situation. That's most of the time the point where you will need to make certain choices. Why is this situation always returning and getting heavier when you get older? Well, because you live your life according to a specific personal pattern. Every time resistance will come up. The resistance will be bigger due to the fact that you will have more responsibilities in your life. That makes it difficult to change your life vision. But generally, there comes a time you will be forced to change your current situation. And with changing your current situation, this doesn't automatically mean you will need to leave your partner or leave your career or move to another country. No, of course not. It only means that you change your point of view. Normally, you use your decisions out of your head. The change is you will be making decisions out of your heart. So, you will look at your situation from another perspective. You will communicate in a different way. More from the perspective of emotion and sensitivity. People will act different. And you also motivate others to follow you. It is a process to move from your heart to your head. Sorry, from your head to your heart, of course. But it is also a process to move from your heart to your head. Because in some situations you need to be in your head, like very practical situations. So, every show and reading I give, you always hear me talking about that head and heart thing. You always need to be yourself. In your head is fear and hope. With these tools, you let yourself be guided to your destination. But because your hope and fear are influenced by every signal from outside, you make decisions out of safety and avoid your heart. Many people have a lot of pain in their heart. Being in your head gives rest in your energy. Well, it seems that way, but in the end it isn't. But why is your pain negative? And why would you avoid it? Things did happen in your past. And for some people, it is too heavy to live with this all day long. Be aware of your situation. In your heart can be a lot of pain, and that pain is not real negative, but that pain is life experience. So try to use this as your guides instead of your hope and fear. Your pain is a valuable life experience. This life experience will make you a better person. Try to look at it from the other side. instead of letting it block your life. Because in your head, your hope and fear will avoid this life experience. You will avoid your pain. To go to your heart is a process where you will be guided to. In a specific period of life, this process is necessary to grow and flow. Let things happen. You also will find your intuition in your heart. Hey, that's great, because we need specific guides which will direct you to the right direction. So trade in your hope and fear for a valuable amount of life experience, together with your intuition, which is a gift from the universe. So don't put pressure and energy into staying in your head. To achieve your goals, learn to release the pressure. Don't try to push. The more you will be pushed, you will be in your head. Take a step back, get an overview, have confidence and trust in yourself, and faith in your future. Let yourself grow into your goals. I'm definitely convinced everybody can do it with his or her capacities. Well, and I think there was a little bit problem with lightning in the USA. So here in Belgium we have perfectly beautiful weather, over 30 degrees Celsius during the day. So the grass in our garden looks completely brown. So it's really valuable for the horses, I think. But okay, let's cut the crap this time. I see we have a caller. Let's tune into her energy. It's Danielle from Alabama. Good evening, Danielle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Super. Do you have a question for me, or do you want me to look general at you?
Just general.
General, okay, let's see what I can find out about you. Your energy gives me some resistance at the moment, so it feels to me like you are facing some issues with yourself, some problems. There's also some information inside you what needs to come out, so communication. You are also feeling like you are a little bit in your head, but also a little bit in your heart. So it looks like you are doubting where to be, because I feel some power in my stomach. So that means your inner force is really working properly. So that means you are currently in your energy. But it feels to me you're doubting about your direction. So this point, you need to make some choices in your life. And you have a relationship at this moment, because I feel a partner at your side, but it also can be a situation in your past.
Yes, I'm actually having trouble in my marriage right now.
Yeah, because and it feels to me, because I say do you have a relationship, or is it something in your past? So that means there is a time which is in your past, which was a good time. Right now I feel some connection problems between you and your partner. Let's see, your partner is also a very sensitive person, so it is a positive energy. I don't feel he's cheating on you, to say it completely directly to you. I only feel there's a really problem in the connectivity between the both of you, like understanding each other. You also have children?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see, your partner feels to me like it's a very genuine person, but he feels to me like he is facing a little bit resistance in his life due to the fact that he is 39 years old and he needs to be 40. So that means he needs to take the follow step, the next step in his life. You are looking back at him, so that means you are a little bit ahead of your partner at the moment in your progress. So you are in your heart, but sometimes you will be in your head, because you are looking at your partner and asking the question, where are you? You need to be with me. You need to come with me. I feel also sadness in this situation. It also affects several other situations in both of your lives, like career, living environment, connections with friends and family. So, but the basic is the love thing, because that's also the first thing that came up to me. I feel some sadness and resistance. So that means at this point in your relationship, you are stuck. There's also some worries about finances. Do you think about separating?
Yes, it's been brought up the past couple of days.
Yeah, because the reason I asked you that is because I pick it up out of your energy, and my guides show that to me. One way it should be a good decision, because it is the travel with less resistance, but it will have much more sadness. I also am blocking about that, so that means I even can talk about ending your relationship. So that means that is not the right decision to me. My guides agree with that because I get the goosebumps, and the goosebumps, that's the confirmation of my spiritual guides. So ending your relationship doesn't feel right to me. It feels right to me that there is some, there needs to be some construction work in your relationship, but that's not a problem at all. If you look around, everything seems to be happy, but there is always problems which needs to be solved. And to me, this feels like you are having a long time relationship with this person. I see children. I see the children are also doubting about the both of you a little bit. You have 2 children?
There is 3.
3. That means 2 children are very accurate. 2 children are very showing themselves to me. And there is one, it's not showing himself to me. So, and I suppose it's the youngest one, because the youngest one comes to me like the oldest one. It's a very strong energy. And that one really feels in about your situation between you and your partner. So the other 2, they feel to me like the middle and the oldest. The oldest is one, is very practical, is also a very sensitive child, but a very practical child. The middle one is doubting, like who should I copy a little bit. The youngest one, it's the perfect energy. It's very easy energy, has a very easy life, because that one really accepts the sensitivity within his energy. And the middle one is a little bit a problem because he's doubting, should I go left, should I go right, doesn't know it. There's nothing from himself. I really see the father in your middle child. So your energy is completely like the oldest one and the youngest one. Both of those 2 are looking like you. The middle one is like the father. The father is also having some low self-confidence. So I really should say to the both of you about your relationship, you should communicate with your partner and give him the confidence that he can do it and that he can make you happy. It is in his system. He can do it. He has shown it before. But with more responsibilities in life, it is more difficult to take the next steps. And he is able to do it. You need to convince him that he should do it, because otherwise he will lose you.
Yes. You're correct.
But try to communicate about him, say to him like, I'm proud of you, you can do it, you are a very decent husband to me, but you need to believe in yourself, because you are beautiful energy. He has a lot of pain from his past, but I definitely see that this person, he has the force and he has the power to achieve his goal together with you. The only thing I think you need to do is not to go to your head, but stay in your heart and try to motivate him out of your emotional part, so out of your own energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I've answered your question, Danielle, because due to the lightning and the strikes and everything, we need to go on to the next caller.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the luck with the both of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So then we have Douglas in Panama City, Florida. Good evening, Douglas.
Hello.
So, how are you doing?
Doing fine.
Super. How can I help you, Douglas?
Well, I was wanting to get a reading to find out what spirits are around me, if any of my entities that I've, should be around me, if they are, and if I can find out what the names are, and what's going to be happening further on down the road.
So you are wondering about spirits around you and what's in your future?
Right. I have several spirits that are supposed to be around me, but my third eye is blocked, so I can't really tell if, they're around.
You are a very sensitive person. Because my hands are completely wet, they are sweaty, so that means you have a very, very strong energy. You are very sensitive, you are very highly spiritual. I also should say that you do this work professionally, because if you look at your energy, I really see that your energy, you have both energies. So you have your own energy and you have your spirituality. You have a very tight connection with the afterlife, with the passed away loved ones. I only feel that there is some disconnection between you and the other side. And how come? Because I feel that you are trying too hard. You are pushing yourself to the limit. And I feel the stress in my chest, so that means you are pushing yourself. I also feel your stomach, so that means there is, in your stomach, I feel the inner force. I also feel there needs to be some communication come out of you about your spirituality. So I'm also blocking a little bit. So that means you can't get connected to the other side because you are trying too hard. You have to let it happen to you, because I see a future at your side, but that future is quite a wide view with what I can see about you. That means I don't see a kind of a focus at your side. So you are struggling at the moment in some situations in your life, and you don't put a focus on several things because of your spirituality. You have some autistic tendencies. So that's a kind of a character of yourself. That's no problem at all. But we need to avoid your autistic tendencies a little bit. It is because of your spirituality. It has nothing to do with you being an autistic person, but it is just the way your sensitivity is blocking your life right now. So you will need to try to focus at some points you will need to achieve, but try to take one step at a time, because you are trying too much. You would like to do a lot of things together at one time. And that's not possible because of your characteristics, because of that somehow autistic tendencies. You will need to put, let's say, to make it a project. So, and if you are making a project, you will need to divide it in some kind of chapters. And you will need to walk through every chapter before you can move on. So I also feel there is some roadblock in front